Hi everyone. This is Miu from Susan's family. Today I'd like to introduce you all to a new design, the Feng series refreshing top dress. This piece comes with 2 yarn options. Each yarn is available in 2 sizes. It is divided into several parts: the body, front pieces, back piece, and skirt hem, sleeves, collar and buttons. First, crochet the body and front and back pieces. Then, work on the skirt hem. Move on to the sleeves and attach them to the front and back pieces. After that, crochet the collar. Finally, add the buttons. Let's start with the body. It is divided into Section 1 and Section 2. Section 1 begins with a chain ring method. Work in rounds counterclockwise starting from the beginning chain. The stitch used is the chain. Double crochet. DC3 bobble. DC2 bobble, single crochet and slip stitch. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Before we start crocheting, let's learn the proper posture for crocheting. Take out the corresponding yarn. Here, pay attention. One option is to crochet with a single strand of yarn. Another type of yarn needs to be crocheted by combining it with jinbao yarn. I'll demonstrate the method for pulling out the jinbao yarn. You can see that jinbao yarn is a bundle of threads woven together like this. Find any position where the thread starts and cut it. Gently shake off the small loose ends. The broken end forms a yarn tail like this, along with a few loops. Gently pull the yarn tail. Pay attention to picking the yarn tail out from the loops. The loop will loosen. Make sure to pull gently. If after pulling a few stitches, you find the yarn tail has a knot, then untie the knot at that part of the yarn tail. Or choose another closely located section of the knitting and cut it again. Repeat the previous steps. Until you pull the yarn tail and all the loops loosen one by one. Then take the strand of treasure yarn that has been unraveled. And merge it with another type of yarn into a group for crocheting. When we later refer to one strand of yarn, it actually means such a group of yarns. This will not be repeated in subsequent instructions. To make it easier for everyone to see clearly, I will demonstrate using one strand of cotton yarn. The specific yarns for each style will be used accordingly. For the color schemes and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. Start with a beginning chain. Pick up the yarn tail with your right hand. Wrap it around the left little finger once. Pass it through between the middle finger and index finger. Then pinch the yarn tail with the thumb and middle finger. Hold the crochet hook in your right hand. Place it underneath the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise around once. Use the left thumb and middle finger to pinch the crossing point of the loop. Place the hook on the left side of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This slip knot does not count as a stitch. Tighten it slightly. Now start crocheting chains. Here you need to adjust a bit. The size of the loop on the hook should be slightly loose here for the starting chain. Don't crochet too tight. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through. One chain is completed. This chain represents one stitch. Continue crocheting chains. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This is the second stitch. Repeat this process. Keep going until you finish all the required stitches. Pay attention, since the number of starting chains is large, you can place a stitch marker every 50 stitches to mark it. This makes it convenient to check the stitch count. The specific number of stitches skipped can also be determined based on your preference. The sample swatch starting chain number is random. For the exact number of starting chains, please refer to the chart. After completing, let's take a look at the chain. On the right side of the chain, it forms a V-shaped braid. The sides of the braid are half stitches. On the wrong side, there are strands of carried yarn. These are called the inside ridges of the chain. Circle the chains. You can fold it like this. With the right side of the chain facing you. Be mindful not to twist the chain. Pick up the half stitch on the top of the first chain with the crochet hook. And the inside ridge on the wrong side. That is, these two strands of yarn. Work one slip stitch. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Pull through all the loops on the hook at once. Slip stitch completed. Tighten. This completes the starting chain. The stitch marker can be removed. Move on to the first round. Start with 3 chains as the beginning chain for the double crochet. This counts as one double crochet, corresponding to the slip stitch position below, at this chain. Then make 2 chains for transition. Skip 2 chains below. On the next chain, work 1 DC3 bobble. Start with an incomplete double crochet. Yarn over once. Insert the hook into the corresponding half stitch and back loop. That is, these 2 strands of yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the first 2 loops. 1 incomplete double crochet is now done. Then, in the same stitch, Work another incomplete double crochet. Yarn over. Insert the hook. And draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. The second incomplete double crochet is now done. Continue in the same stitch. And work another incomplete double crochet. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops in once. 1 DC3 bobble is complete. The V-shaped braid on the upper right is its stitch pattern. For convenience in explanation, we will simply call it a bobble stitch moving forward. Next, chain 2 for transition. Below, skip 2 chains. On the next stitch, pick up the front loop and half loop, work 1 double crochet. Start with 1 incomplete double crochet. For this round, always pick up these 2 strands to crochet. After completing, yarn over and draw through all loops once. Double crochet complete. The braid on the upper right is its stitch. Continue with 2 chains for transition. Below, skip 2 stitches. Crochet 1 bobble stitch. First, work 3 incomplete double crochets in the same stitch. One, 2, 3. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops once. 1 bobble stitch is now complete, then 2 chains as a transition. Below, skip 2 stitches, crochet 1 double crochet. First, work 1 incomplete double crochet. Then yarn over and pull through all loops once. After completing, the double crochet is done. Take a look. For this round, alternate crocheting double crochets and bobble stitches, with 2 chains for transition in between. Below, there's a 2 chain interval between each. Follow this process to complete the entire round. After completing the last bobble stitch, there are 2 stitches remaining on the left side. Crochet 2 chains for transition again. On the starting standing stitch, work 1 slip stitch. You can count upwards from below. Locate the 3rd chain. Pick up these 2 threads and crochet. Insert. Draw the yarn through. And draw through all the loops on the hook once. Slip stitch completed. The slip stitch that joins the end of the round needs to be tightened. This prevents accidentally crocheting extra stitches later. That's how you complete the first round. We'll consider the side with clearer texture as the right side of the entire piece. Now, crochet the second round. Start with 1 chain. This will serve as the turning chain for the single crochet. Identify the insertion point from the previous round slip stitch. Work 1 single crochet. Insert your hook. Pull the yarn through. There should be 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and draw through all loops once. Single crochet completed. The braid on the upper right is the stitch of a single crochet. Move on to 3 chains as a transition. At the same position below, work 1 DC2 bobble. First, make 2 incomplete double crochets. One, 2. Yarn over and draw through all loops once. DC2 bobble is complete. The braid on the upper right is its stitch. Then, work 1 chain for transition. Skip the bobble stitch below. On the left side, at the double crochet stitch. Work 1 DC2 bobble. First, make 2 incomplete double crochets. One, 2. Yarn over and draw through all loops once. DC2 bobble is complete. Then, work 3 chains as a transition. At the same position below, work 1 single crochet stitch. Insert the hook. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through all loops once. Single crochet completed. We will take the stitches we have already crocheted, excluding the beginning chain, as pattern A. Below, work 7 chains for transition. On the left side, skip 1 bobble stitch. On the left side, at the 2 double crochet stitches, work another pattern A. That is, first on the adjacent double crochet stitches. Make 1 single crochet, 3 chains, and 1 DC2 bobble. Then, 1 chain for transition. On the left side, crochet a symmetrical stitch to the one on the previous double crochet. After completing the single crochet, pattern A is done. Continue with 7 chains for transition. Take a look. In this round, crochet pattern A correspondingly on the double crochets. Use 7 chains to transition between patterns. Pay attention to skipping the bobble stitches without crocheting them. Repeat this process to complete the entire round. After finishing the last pattern A, make 3 chains for transition. Then, on the starting single crochet stitch, work 1 double crochet to connect. That completes the second round. Move on to the third round. Start with one chain as the beginning chain. Then, on the double crochet stitch from the previous round, work one single crochet. Next, make 3 chains for transition. Then, on the left side, pick up the 2 front loops of the chain in the middle of pattern A. Which are these 2 half loops? Or these 2 strands of yarn? And work 1 DC2 bobble stitch. Make 3 chains. 1 single crochet. 3 chains. And 1 DC2 bobble stitch. After completing these stitches, we will treat this group of stitches as 1 pattern B. Next, make a chain of 3 for transition. In the hole formed by 7 chains from the previous round, work 1 single crochet. Continue with 3 chains for transition. Below, on the middle chain of pattern A on the left side, pick up 2 threads and work 1 pattern B. That is, 1 DC2 bobble stitch. Three chains. 1 single crochet. 3 chains. And 1 DC2 bobble stitch. After completing these, transition with 3 chains. Work 1 single crochet in the chain space below. Transition with 3 chains. Let's take a look. This round involves working pattern B on the corresponding pattern A from the previous round. Match up and work pattern B. In the chain space of 7 chains from the previous round, correspondingly make a single crochet. Between the single crochet and pattern B, there is a transition with 3 chains. Repeat this process to work the entire round. After completing the last pattern B, work 1 double crochet in the starting single crochet to join. This completes the third round. Continue with the fourth round. Start with a chain 1 as the beginning chain. Correspondingly make 1 single crochet in the double crochet stitch. Then, chain 5 for transition. Next, in the pattern B on the left side, work 1 single crochet in each of the DC2 bobble stitches, with a 5 chain transition in between. In the pattern B on the left side, Correspondingly work single crochets in the bobble stitches of the long needles, and match up to work single crochets in the double crochet stitches, with a 5-chain transition in between. After completing it, take a look. This round involves corresponding single crochets in pattern B. Between the single crochets, there is a 5-chain transition. Repeat this process to work the entire round. Finally, work 1 slip stitch in the first single crochet. Tighten the yarn. That completes the 4th round. Move on to the 5th round. Start with 3 chains as the beginning chain. Then, chain 2 for transition. In the middle strand of the 5 chains on the left side, pick up 2 strands of yarn, work 1 bobble stitch. Then, chain 2 as a transition. Work 1 double crochet in the left single crochet. Continue with a 2-chain transition. On the middle strand of the 5 chains, pick up 2 strands and work 1 bobble stitch. Then, chain 2 for transition. Correspondingly work 1 double crochet in the left single crochet stitch. After completing, take a look. This round is similar to the first round, except the bobble stitch is worked into the middle strand of the chains. The double crochet is worked on top of the single crochet. Follow this method to complete the entire round. Finally, end with a slip stitch in the beginning chain. Pay attention and locate the 3rd chain from bottom to top. Pick up these 2 strands and work a slip stitch. Pull tight. This concludes the 5th round. Lastly, work on the 6th round. Start with 3 chains as the turning chain. Then work 2 double crochets into the chain space on the left side. Work 1 double crochet correspondingly on the bobble stitch. Work 2 double crochets in the chain space on the left side. Work 1 double crochet on the double crochet stitch. Take a look after completing. In this round, work 1 double crochet correspondingly on each stitch. Work 2 double crochets correspondingly in each chain space. Follow this method to complete the entire round. After completing the last chain space, finish with a slip stitch in the turning chain. That completes the 6th round. The crocheting for section 1 of the body has now been explained. Next, we'll move on to section 2. Take a look at the finished product. Work back and forth in rounds from one section to the next. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet method. Start with the first round. Begin with 1 chain. Turn the fabric counterclockwise to the wrong side. In the turning chain of the previous round, insert your hook into the slip stitch position. Work 1 single crochet. Corresponding to the turning chain spot. Then, make a transition with 3 chains. On the left side, skip 2 stitches. Pay attention that on the back side, the stitch is located at the upper left. Work 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Then, chain 3 as a bridge. Continue to skip 2 stitches. Work 1 single crochet. This round involves working 1 single crochet, with an interval of 2 stitches. Between each 2 single crochets, chain 3 as a transition. Repeat this process to work the entire round. After completing the last single crochet, there are still 2 stitches remaining on the left side. Continue with a chain of 3 as a bridge. Join with a slip stitch in the first single crochet to finish. This completes the first round. We call this round that we worked on the wrong side, the single crochet round. Now, move on to the second round. This round will be crocheted on the right side. Start with 3 chains as the turning chain, which counts as the first double crochet. Turn your work counterclockwise. Chain 1 for transition. Work 1 double crochet in the single crochet stitch below. We will treat the stitches worked in the same stitch as pattern C. Continue by working 1 pattern C in the single crochet on the left side, which is 1 double crochet. One chain and 1 double crochet. After completing it, continue on the next stitch on the left side by crocheting 1 pattern C. This round involves crocheting pattern C correspondingly in the single crochets from the previous round. Continue with this method to complete the entire round. Finally, end with a slip stitch in the starting chain. This completes round 2. We refer to this round crocheted on the right side as the pattern round. Let's proceed to round 3, which is a single crochet round. First, work 1 slip stitch in the chain space of the pattern on the left side. Crochet 1 slip stitch there. No need to tighten it. This brings the yarn to the position of the hole. Then make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Turn your work over. Crochet 1 single crochet into the hole of pattern C. Next, chain 3 as a bridge. Work 1 single crochet in the chain space of pattern C on the left side. Chain 3 as a transition. For this round, you will be crocheting single crochets into the chain spaces of pattern C from the previous round, corresponding accordingly. Chain 3 as a transition in between. Repeat this process to work the entire round. Finally, end with a slip stitch in the single crochet. This completes the 3rd round. Now move on to the 4th round. This round is the pattern round. Start with 3 chains as your beginning chain. Turn your work over. Continue to complete pattern C. Proceed downward and follow the crocheting method for the pattern round to finish this round. Finish with a slip stitch. This completes the 4th round. Continue to the 5th round. The method is identical to the 3rd round. First, in the chain space on the left side, work 1 slip stitch for the transition. Then, make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Turn your work over. In the hole of pattern C below, crochet 1 single crochet. Chain 3 as a transition. Continue to work the entire round using the single crochet round method. Finish with a slip stitch. This completes the 5th round. For the remaining rounds in section 2, repeat the methods of rounds 4 and 5. Alternate between crocheting the pattern rounds and the single crochet rounds. Pay attention that when starting the single crochet round, you need to move the yarn to the chain space of pattern C. The final round is a single crochet round. The method is relatively simple. Everyone, refer to the pattern and crochet it all the way down. This concludes the explanation of crocheting the body section. While crocheting, you may encounter situations where the yarn tail isn't long enough, and you'll need to join a new yarn. I'll demonstrate the method for joining the yarn using a sample swatch. Leave about 5 centimeters of length for the yarn tail that needs joining. Tie a simple knot. Then continue crocheting with both strands of yarn together. For joining 2 types of yarns, simply tying a knot on the yarn that needs joining will suffice. Just continue crocheting according to the pattern. Place the joining area on the wrong side of the fabric piece. You don't need to deal with the yarn tails for now. At the end, weave in the ends following the texture. This is the method for joining yarn. For any future situations where you need to join yarn, follow this method. Next, we'll learn about the back piece. Take a look at the finished product. The back piece is divided into Section 1, Section 2 and Section 3. Section 1 is crocheted back and forth, connecting to the bodice yarn. Decrease stitches on both sides. The new stitch technique used here is double crochet decrease, DC2 tog. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet method. Before starting, let's confirm the position of the back piece. Here, I'll demonstrate using a sample swatch. Make sure the right side of the fabric is facing up. Start counting from the pattern C that corresponds to the slip stitch position. Count the number of pattern C units for the back piece to the left. The number of swatches is random. For the exact quantity, please refer to the chart. On the last group's corresponding single crochet, SC. Mark it with a stitch marker. Then start from the next group. Count the number of groups for the space between the front and back pieces. Mark the next group's corresponding single crochet, SC, with a stitch marker. The number of spaces in the swatch is random. Then, starting from the marked position, count out the front piece. The number of groups corresponding to the left front piece. Make a mark at the last group position. Continue counting the number of groups for the space in the middle of the front piece. Make a mark at the next corresponding group position. Continue from the marked position. Count out the number of groups corresponding to the right front piece. Make a mark on the last group. The number of remaining groups between the left side and the joining position should match the other side. The number of remaining groups should be consistent with the other side. Stitch marker marking position. It's the corresponding position of the beginning and ending of the crocheted section. This way, the back piece position is set. Start with the first row of section 1 of the back piece. This row is crocheted on the right side. Refer to the chart from right to left. Start with 3 chains corresponding to the single crochets below. Turn the work over. Crochet 1 pattern C on the left single crochet. Continue working pattern C correspondingly downward. Keep crocheting until just before the stitch marker on the left side. There is 1 single crochet remaining. Now you've reached the corresponding position. Crochet 1 double crochet into the left single crochet. 1 chain. Then work 1 double crochet decrease. First, insert your hook into the previous insertion point. Work 1 incomplete double crochet. Next, in the single crochet at the stitch marker position, work 1 incomplete double crochet. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops. That completes the double crochet decrease. The braid on the upper right represents its stitch. This completes the first row. We will continue to call this row of pattern See the Motif row. Let's move on to the second row. Look at the chart from left to right. When crocheting back and forth, always start from the side with the beginning chain. This won't be repeated in the following steps. Start with one chain as your beginning chain. Turn your work. Work one single crochet into the stitch of the double crochet decrease from the previous row. Continue by working one single crochet into the chain space on the left side. Then make a chain of 3 as a bridge. Correspondingly make single crochets into the holes of pattern C on the left side. Chain 3 as a transition. Match up and work single crochets into the holes of pattern C on the left side. Chain 3 as a transition. Continue crocheting downward following the single crochet round method. After completing the last single crochet that corresponds to pattern C, work one more single crochet on the left stitch. Do not crochet at the turning chain position. That completes the second row. We call such a row a single crochet row. You can see that both the beginning and ending of the single crochet row are 2 single crochets. The middle part follows the same crochet pattern as the single crochet round. Continue with the third row. Start with 4 chains as the beginning chain, corresponding to the single crochets below. Turn the work. Work 1 double crochet decrease next. First, on the 2 single crochets on the left side, work 1 incomplete double crochet in each stitch respectively. Be mindful not to crochet into the stitch under the turning chain. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops once the double crochet decrease is done. Then work a chain as a transition. And work 1 double crochet in the same stitch below. Continue crocheting according to the pattern. Repeat. When you reach the ending with 3 single crochets remaining, work 1 double crochet on the left single crochet. Work 1 chain for transition. Below, crochet 1 decrease pattern. First, work 1 incomplete double crochet in the same position below. Then, on the left single crochet, work 1 incomplete double crochet. And on the remaining single crochet, work 1 incomplete treble crochet. Yarn over twice. Insert. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over on after another. Draw through the first 2 loops on the hook. Repeat this 2 times. 1, 2. The incomplete treble crochet is done. Yarn over for the last time, and draw through in once. The decrease pattern is complete. That's how you finish the third row. Now move on to the fourth row. Start with 1 chain as your beginning chain. Turn your work in the stitch and chain space. Correspondingly make 2 single crochets. Then continue crocheting according to the single crochet row technique. Finally, in the chain space and the double crochet decrease stitch, correspondingly make 2 single crochets. That completes the 4th row. Now continue with the 5th row, start with 4 chains as your beginning chain. Turn your work. Skip the stitch corresponding to the turning chain. On the 2 single crochets on the left side, make 1 double crochet decrease. Then make 1 chain for transition. Work 1 double crochet in the same stitch. Continue crocheting according to the pattern row technique. When you reach the end and have 3 single crochets left, make 1 double crochet on the left single crochet. Chain 1 as a bridge. Below, crochet 1 decrease motif. First, in the same position below and on the left single crochet, make 2 incomplete double crochets. Then, on the remaining single crochet, work 1 incomplete treble crochet. Yarn over the hook twice. Insert. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over on after another. Draw through the first 2 loops on the hook. Repeat twice. The incomplete treble crochet is done. Yarn over one last time, and draw through in once. The decrease stitch pattern is complete. That's how you finish row 5. For the following rows, simply follow the method used in rows 4 and 5, alternating between pattern rows and single crochet rows. The last row will be a single crochet row. Everyone, refer to the pattern chart to finish the remaining rows. That concludes the explanation for section 1. Next, let's learn section 3. Take a look at the finished product. Section 3 continues directly after section 1. Continue crocheting back and forth evenly without increasing or decreasing. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Start with row 1. Here, I'll demonstrate using a sample swatch. First, make 3 beginning chains. Turn your work. Crochet 1 pattern C into the left single crochet stitch. Continue working the corresponding pattern C. Keep going until you reach the 3rd to last single crochet stitch. Now you've reached the corresponding position. Crochet 1 double crochet into the left single crochet stitch. Make 1 chain for transition. Then, in the same stitch and the left stitch, crochet 1 double crochet decrease. That completes row 1. Continue with row 2. Simply follow the pattern of the single crochet row. That completes row 2. For the following rows, alternate crocheting using the methods from rows 1 to 2. The last row is a single crochet row. Refer to the chart and complete it accordingly. That concludes the explanation of section 2's crocheting. Next, let's learn Section 3. Take a look at the finished product. Section 3 is divided into the left shoulder part and the right shoulder part. The terms left and right are based on the perspective when the garment is being worn. Start crocheting the right shoulder part by continuing with the yarn from Section 2. After completing the right shoulder part, crochet the left shoulder part. Decrease stitches on one side of the neckline for both parts. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Begin by marking the position first. Locate the second to last row of section 2. Identify the two centered patterns. Then count outward to find the middle, leaving 3 patterns that need to be skipped. The number varies depending on the size. Refer to the chart for specifics. Then place marks on the single crochets that correspond to pattern C on both sides. Mark the positions where you will crochet for the shoulder parts. After marking, check to ensure the number of patterns on both sides are identical. Once the position is confirmed, work on the first row of the right shoulder part. Continue crocheting from where you left off with the yarn. The first row is a pattern row. Begin in the same way as section 2. Keep crocheting until there are 2 single crochets remaining before the stitch marker on the left side. When you reach the corresponding position, work 1 double crochet into the left single crochet stitch. One chain. After that, in the same position below, and at the marked stitch of the left single crochet, work 1 decrease pattern. Once this is done, the first row is complete. The techniques for the following rows have been demonstrated earlier. Just refer to the pattern and complete it. The last row is the pattern row. After completion, fasten off the yarn. Here, I'll demonstrate the method for fastening off using a swatch. Crochet 1 chain to secure. Stretch the loop, leave about 5 centimeters of the yarn tail, and cut it off. Pull tight. Tuck the yarn tail along the texture on the wrong side. You can secure a few more stitches if you'd like. Trim excess tail. For the other yarn tails used for joining, tuck them in using the same method. This concludes the crocheting of the right shoulder part. Now, move on to the left shoulder part. Place the piece with the right side facing up, which is the clearer texture side, where the pattern repeat is visible. Join yarn at the marked stitch position on the left side. Pick up the yarn following the previous method. The sample will continue to demonstrate using one strand of yarn. Make a slip knot. Insert it into the stitch marker position. Draw the yarn through the loop. Adjust the size of the loop. Joining the yarn is now complete. Then, chain 4 to start. Work 2 single crochets on the left side. Crochet 1 double crochet decrease. After completion, chain 1 as a transition. Below in the same stitch, work 1 double crochet. Then, crochet the pattern C accordingly. The technique is identical to the pattern in section 2. After completing the last double crochet decrease, the first row is done. The techniques for the following rows have been demonstrated earlier. You can directly refer to the chart and complete it. The final row is a motif row. After completion, leave a tail of about 5 centimeters and cut the yarn. Tighten it. Tuck the yarn tail along the texture on the wrong side. Make sure to weave in the starting yarn tail as well. Everyone can now complete it. That concludes the explanation of crocheting the left shoulder parts. The crocheting of the back piece has also been explained. Next, we'll learn how to crochet the front body. Take a look at the finished product. The front is divided into the left front piece and the right front piece. These are differentiated based on the left and right sides when wearing the garment. Each front piece is further divided into section 1, section 2, and section 3. Here, I'll explain the crochet method for the front piece using a small sample. Place the corresponding section of the front piece facing up. Start with the left front piece. Join the yarn at the marker position on the far right. Crochet back and forth in section 1 between the 2 markers. Decrease in the last stitch of the first row. For the following rows, decrease on the right side. Work even on the left side. The technique is similar to that of the left shoulder part of the back piece. The last row consists of single crochets. The crochet method for section 2 is the same as that of the back piece's section 2. In section 3, decrease on the left side. Work even on the right side. The technique is similar to that of the right shoulder part of the back piece. The last row consists of motifs. After completing, fasten off and weave in the ends. Once the left front piece is done, continue with the right front piece. At the positions of the last 2 markers, crochet back and forth. The specific crochet method is symmetrical to that of the left front piece. After completion, fasten off and weave in the ends as well. The method is relatively simple. All stitches have been demonstrated before. Please refer to the previous demonstrations. Follow the chart to complete the front piece. That concludes the explanation of crocheting the front piece. Next, we'll learn how to crochet the skirt hem. Take a look at the finished product. The skirt hem starts on the other side of the body. Continue crocheting in rounds. It is divided into section 1 and section 2. Let's start with the crochet technique for section 1. Section 1 involves crocheting back and forth in rounds. The method is similar to the technique used for section 2 of the body. Just remember to increase stitches on both sides for certain rounds. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet method. Start with the first round. Here, I'll demonstrate using a small sample. Begin by smoothing out and tidying up the fabric piece. Make sure the right side faces out. Align the front and back pieces. Note, this small sample doesn't have separate front and back pieces. In practice, align and tidy up the fabric in your hands properly. Join the yarn at a corresponding double crochet or bobble stitch chain on the side edge, or attach the yarn to the slip knot of a bobble stitch. Continue picking up the yarn as before. Insert the hook into the corresponding position to join the yarn. Pay attention here. Insert the hook into the middle position, below the stitch to join the yarn. Then make 3 chains as the beginning chain. Correspondingly work 2 double crochets into the chain space on the left side. You can also gather the yarn tail at the same time. The chain from the completed crochet stitch. Pick up the center position below the stitch. Work a double crochet correspondingly. Repeat this process and work double crochets into each stitch evenly. Continue all the way down until you finish this round. When you encounter the turning chain position, simply pick up below the turning chain and continue crocheting. After completing, you can check the stitch count. Finally, finish with a slip stitch on the turning chain. That concludes the first round. For the following rounds 2 through 6, the technique is identical to the method used for section 2 of the body. Everyone, refer to the chart, and follow the previous demonstration to complete it. Once done, continue with the 7th round. In this round, you'll need to increase stitches on both sides. It's called the increase round. Below, I'll demonstrate the technique using a small sample. The small sample has fewer rounds, and focuses primarily on demonstrating the method. First, identify the increase placement. The increase points given in the chart are for reference only. In practice, you can align and smooth out the fabric, matching up the front and back pieces. Then mark the corresponding single crochet stitches on both sides. You can double check everything at this point. The number of pattern C between marked positions should be consistent. It needs to be the same. After confirming the positions, let's start crocheting. The first increase point on the small sample is right at the slip stitch position. Start with 3 chains as the beginning chain. Turn the work over. Then crochet 1 chain for transition. In the same stitch, crochet another pattern C. We treat the stitches crocheted in the same position as one increase pattern. Here, because it's the beginning of a round, it's a bit special. Use the standing stitch to replace 1 double crochet. Move the stitch marker to the middle double crochet. Continue crocheting pattern C correspondingly. Keep going until just before the next increase point. Now we've reached the corresponding position. Crochet 1 increase pattern at the stitch marker position. That is, 3 double crochets, with 1 chain as a transition in between. After completing, move the stitch marker to the middle double crochet. Continue crocheting pattern C correspondingly. Keep going until you finish this round. Finally, end with a slip stitch on the standing stitch. This completes the round with the increase pattern. Move on to the next round. Start by crocheting the single crochet round as usual. Crochet until just before the stitch marker on the left side. When you reach the corresponding position, work 1 single crochet into each chain space on both sides of the stitch marker. Work 2 chains as a transition in between. Take a look. Here, because there is 1 stitch interval between the single crochets, only 2 chains are worked. For subsequent increase patterns, follow this method for crocheting. Always use this technique when encountering increase patterns. Continue working the single crochet round as usual. Crochet normally. When you reach the stitch marker position, work 1 single crochet into the previous chain space. Then, chain 2 as a transition. Slip stitch to join on the starting single crochet. This completes the single crochet round after the increase round. Continue referring to the chart for the following rounds. Work the corresponding number of rounds evenly without increasing or decreasing. Follow the chart and crochet the corresponding rounds without increases or decreases. Let me demonstrate again with a sample swatch. The method for increasing in the pattern round. First, mark the increase point in the same way as before. Use the identical method as the first time. Then, crochet the pattern round normally. When you encounter the stitch marker position, work the increase pattern there. Pay attention to moving the stitch marker. For the rest of the positions, continue to work correspondingly. Crochet pattern C. Finish with a slip stitch. That completes the pattern round with the increases. Continue to the next round. Start by crocheting a single crochet round normally. When you reach the stitch marker position, replace the 3-chain group of the increase pattern with 2 chains. Continue crocheting the single crochet round normally from there. Follow this method to complete the entire round. Finish with a slip stitch. That completes the single crochet round. For the following rounds, perform increases in the corresponding pattern rounds. The increase method involves working the increase patterns at the side positions. Crochet the increase motifs there. In the next single crochet round, make the corresponding adjustments. Refer to the previous demonstration and follow the chart. Complete the corresponding parts of section 1. That concludes the explanation for section 1. Next, let's learn section 2. Take a look at the finished product. Section 2 continues from section 1, crocheting in rounds counterclockwise. The number of rounds for tops and dresses will vary. The new stitch technique used is DC3 tog. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet method. Start with the first round. First, flip the fabric to the wrong side. In the chain space on the left side, work 1 slip stitch to transition to the position of the space. Then, make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Turn the work over. Work 1 single crochet in the same space. Then, chain 1 for transition. On the left side, skip 1 chain space. Crochet 3 double crochets in the next chain space on the left. Chain 2. And then, crochet 3 double crochets. We will treat this stitch pattern worked in one space as a fan shape. Continue with 1 chain for transition. On the left side, skip 1 space. Work 1 single crochet in the next space. Continue with 1 chain for transition. Skip 1 space. Crochet 1 fan shape, that is, crochet 3 double crochets in the same space. Chain 2. And then, crochet 3 double crochets. The fan shape is done. Take a look. This round involves working into the spaces of the single crochet round, alternate crocheting single crochets and fan patterns. The insertion positions are spaced apart by 1 space each. In between, there is a chain transition with 1 chain. Repeat this process to work the entire round. Pay attention to the ending of this round on the top. There's no space between the single crochet and the fan pattern. The single crochet and fan shape are not separated by any spaces. For more details, please refer to the chart. Finally, end with a slip stitch in the single crochet. That completes the first round. Up to this point, the skirt section of the top is completed. You can simply fasten off and weave in the ends. For the dress, you need to continue crocheting. Move on to crochet round 2. Start with 3 chains as the turning chain. This corresponds to the single crochet below. Then work 1 double crochet into the second double crochet of the fan shape on the left side. Work 1 double crochet. Chain 1 as a transition. Next, work into the chain space of the fan pattern. Correspondingly, crochet 1 fan shape. Continue with 1 chain for transition. Below, work 1 double crochet, 3 stitches together. First, work into the second to last double crochet of the fan pattern below, the single crochet on the left side, and the second double crochet of the fan shape on the left. Work 1 incomplete double crochet in each of these. One, 2, 3. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops once. The double crochet 3 stitches together is done. The braid on the upper right corresponds to its stitch. Then, work 1 chain for transition in the space of the fan shape below. Correspondingly crochet 1 fan shape. After completing it, work 1 chain for transition. Below, work 1 double crochet, 3 stitches together. First, work into the second to last double crochet of the fan shape below, the single crochet on the left side, and the second double crochet of the fan shape on the left. Work 1 incomplete double crochet in each of these. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops once. The double crochet 3 stitches together is completed. For the next circle, work correspondingly on the fan shapes, matching up with the fan patterns. Single crochets and corresponding positions on both sides. Correspondingly make 1 double crochet, 3 stitches together. In between, there is 1 chain for transition. Continue working downward following this method. After completing the last fan shape, work 1 chain for transition on the second to last double crochet stitch of the fan shape below. Work 1 double crochet. Then, on the starting double crochet stitch, work 1 slip stitch to join. That completes the second round. Continue with the third round. Start with 3 chains as the turning chain. On the second double crochet of the fan shape on the left side, work 1 double crochet. Chain 1 for transition. Then correspondingly make 1 fan shape on the fan pattern. Chain 1 for transition. Below, on the second to last double crochet stitch of the fan shape, where the previous round has a DC3 tog stitch, and on the second double crochet stitch of the fan shape on the left side, work 1 DC3 tog. After completing it, chain 1 for transition. You can see that the technique for this round is identical to the previous round. It just involves the DC3 tog. The insertion point in the middle is on the DC3 tog stitch from the previous round. Continue working according to this method. After completing the last fan shape, chain 1 for transition on the second to last double crochet stitch of the fan shape below. Work 1 double crochet. Then on the starting double crochet stitch, work 1 slip stitch to join. This completes the third round. The remaining part of section 2 is to repeat the crochet method of round 3. After completing this part, break the yarn and weave in the ends. Refer to the previous demonstration and follow the chart to complete it. This concludes the explanation of the crochet method for section 2. The hem has also been fully explained.